So we just talked about your linking of analytics. How are you actually tracking, and I guess what issues are you currently having in your account?
So I used to be running this all off my website until I learned not to do that. My analytics is not hooked up to my landing page, so I'm not running any of that. I was just more so thinking for some reason that their analytics had something to do with setting up conversions for the landing pages. And I was confused because I knew everything was under different email accounts and that it really has nothing to do with it. It's all, that's why it says AW and then your number. It's AdWords, I'm guessing. It's its own kind of
Yeah.
separate thing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Okay. So do you have tracking set up, right? Currently already?
like I said, I don't know if it's working this time because I just started a new account or a new campaign. The 23 AW or the 23 UA ad, the top one on there, that one is the one that I shut down because I didn't have the conversions set up. It said I was getting like 12 conversions from this one thing, and that wasn't true. I think it was just page hits.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Let me let's check out your conversions real quick, or your conversion. So you can see all this tools and then conversions. I want to see how you have your actual conversion action set up.
The conversions set up, they're not set up per ad group. They're set up per campaign.
Okay.
Or the
Okay.
account on the account setting. I don't know how they work. That's why another reason. They show up when I try to start a campaign, and I'm like, I don't want those.
Yeah. So you have your lead form from your page, and then you have your call extension, and looks like you are using at least this. You haven't had any recent conversions on your lead form, which lead form is just typically these go on your thank you page, and it's triggered once the consumer hits. So they hit the main page, and then once they submit the form, it then triggers that call, the little action, event action.
That one's been on there for a while, and that one's never converted. So it's
And never
obviously set up
converted.
wrong. Yeah.
Okay, so if
I
you
thought
just
I thought that was the form that Google, because it says Google hosted, and showed an ad that had the form in the ad where they could just fill it out right there.
Yeah, right. This is the lead form. So you are running the lead forms on the actual ads themselves then. So you're not, this isn't actually something that you're running on your page. Do you have that
No,
set up, or you're looking to set that up?
no, that was just something I had set up before. It was set up before I even took this course.
Okay, gotcha. It's like you are getting some conversions here. So I'm going to navigate back to your page here. So this is the one that you're focused on currently, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm focused on now. It has no conversions. Yesterday, I think it said that I got like some clicks on the call,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't get any calls. So I don't know why it's saying I got a call ad in there and it says
Okay.
that I got some clicks on it. And I'm like, I haven't gotten any clicks on my call ad. Nobody's called me.
Yeah, because yeah, zero conversions. So yeah, I definitely haven't gotten anything.
Why would it say I have clicks on my call ad if I haven't gotten any conversions?
You said you had clicks.
Yeah, so you go click on the Aldine leads and you go into the ads for like corporate. Only got two things right now.
Event and tribute.
Yeah, and then you go to the ads. You'll see I have a call ad,
I got you. Yeah, I see
but
you got one call ad here, and then you've had 37 impressions. I don't see clicks.
scroll up or scroll to the other side. There's more. There's another one on.
There's no one there. Okay.
Yeah, it says a click right there. I never got that call.
Okay. So they probably hung up then, most likely. So they probably clicked on it and then hung up. It was abandoned. So one good way to that you can also do this as well for call tracking. And let's see how you actually have your call tracking set up. So using call extension lead.
I don't know what the difference between that is and what the other
Yeah.
one that says call extension lead.
So typically what you would do is you would set up a separate action for this that's like call only ad. And then what you would do is you would just use that call only ad conversion, and you would just set it up the same way in conversions. And then because the actual call extension, and I'm going to just show you this really quick. On the extensions here, you have your call. This will fire your call extension action. You know what I'm
Automatically.
saying? Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
this is set up for specifically for this. So just so you don't blend or mess up the two, you would want to separate these just so you can see that, okay, it's actually firing.
So what would I put? So what would I put that on then if I'm not doing that?
So do you want me to show you how to do that really quick?
Yeah, please.
So you go to tools, conversions, and then we would just go to new conversion action.
Can we like delete other actions so we don't get confused on which one's which? And like,
So
I get confused because I don't know if these are all for this account or if they're all for, I'm just like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this call extension lead, this is the only one that you have set up for phone calls currently.
okay.
And you can see this is categorized under phone call leads.
Uh-huh.
So you have your extension leads, which is something that's presented directly on the page, like or on the ad for them to call in. And it's a completely separate. It's like an accessory to the ad, right?
Okay.
And then a call only ad is an ad it literally just presents that one ad that we just saw.
On
So
Google, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it just shows up as that, right? This call extension lead, like this action will be used. This will be used for
From the landing page.
the actual call extension itself, like the actual extension instead of the ad itself. So
Okay.
you should have two call actions. So you just go to new conversion action, and you will do phone conversions,
Okay.
and then you'll do calls. Do this one. So
Calls from
it's
ads.
similar.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, because the
so
word extensions in there, so it's confusing.
yeah,
Or call only
or
ads.
call
Okay.
only ads, which you have. That's what you have. You have call only ads set up, but you want to keep them separate, and you
Okay.
can just name this one.
Call only.
Yeah, and then you don't necessarily need to apply a dollar value, right?
Oh, I don't have
Okay,
to, no.
and then you can set your call length. What are you setting your call length at?
I don't know. The other guy said 1 second,
Yeah,
but
that's what we typically do.
okay.
1 second, and then I do last click on this, and then create, continue. So then we can go back to our ads real quick. And then you can associate
That's in the wrong account. Yeah.
and then you can associate
So this is where I get confused. So I have call ads in each ad group. That's why I'm saying I get confused on if that
yeah.
call is
So
going into one thing or the other.
and then if you just want to track them separately, you can just literally go back and rename that one that I just
Okay, just
created.
duplicate it and put a title on it.
Yeah, you can put in parentheses like events or whatever. And then you would just down here, you just select call only ads instead. Literally, it's pretty straightforward. That's how you do it.
Okay.
And then I think that's it, right? There's only two, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's only two.
now it'll only associate the actual call ad as that conversion.
Okay. All right. One of the other things is I have obviously a really unique kind of situation going on here with my ads. And I'm finding it difficult I understand like the roofing example that he gives in the class and stuff like that, and how to break it down, like roofing installation, roofing repairs, roof leak, all those kind of different ad groups and stuff like that. And I almost get it from a perspective of if I was a booking agency where I would have tribute bands, cover bands, DJs. Those would be the ad groups, but I'm actually the tribute band.
Okay.
So where do I go? I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak, as far as a list of things that go. I'm trying to think. The only other option I feel that I have is like cities and geo-targeting, because I did go back through some of the search terms from the last couple of days that have been searched, and people are looking at cities. But one, that's a lot of cities, and that's a lot of landing pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of keywords to go into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of repetitiveness.
Yeah. In those aspects, you want to try to get into the consumer's mind. How are they searching for you? What ways will they be searching for you?
So here's the thing. I already did that. I'm one step ahead of you.
Okay, cool.
Not to cut. Actually, go ahead. Answer the question for other people that may be watching.
Yeah, for sure. So you just want to get in the consumer's mind. How are they searching? How will they find you? Don't have to get super granular. You want to connect with the consumer in whatever avenues that they will find you. And you mentioned the cities that, so if it's a city or a town or the state, even, like, depending on you can actually set up ad groups to that, right? So you can say live events Texas, or whatever it is, live events Amarillo, wherever you're presenting at the time. And then, so if those people are actually searching for those live events to find somewhere to go, or if they're searching for you specifically in that town or city or whatever, like you can literally connect with them, like using keywords and all that. So,
Here's the kicker. So that's not what I'm trying to do.
okay.
So I'm looking for buyers. I'm looking for people that host the events, people that are looking for to hire the bands for their events.
Okay.
And that's where it becomes tricky, is because those people that search, which I have reached out to a few of I've been doing this 10 years. So I have a handful of a lot of people that I talk to, and I've told them, and one of them said, I would say the name of the tribute band and something I would add at the end of the search to a specific area like New England. So they would look up hypothetically Jason Aldean tribute, New England. That's what they would search.
Okay.
Or they would search if they wanted to go outside it. They said that they would do something new. They would just search for new ones. But the problem is the fans search the same thing as the buyers.
Okay.
And it's really hard to separate the two unless you put ad text or ad copy in there or in the headlines that differentiates.
Yeah.
Booking a band, you're putting words that the buyers actually understand and that the fans don't understand for
Yeah.
like routing dates available, minimum rider, that
Yeah.
stuff. They're like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
So that's really the only way I can figure out how to differentiate the two. But the main thing is those ads. And if you look at my keywords, I'm trying to separate them a little bit, but everyday people are looking up bands and they're clicking on it. If I put something that's too enticing in there, seen on TV or something like that, they want to click on it just because it says seen on TV.
Yeah.
And it's obviously wasting my money. So that's where I'm stuck at.
Yeah. So I think you're heading down the right direction. There's three ways you can actually do that, since you do have a lot of overlap on searches there. Number one, you can and you should set up the actual ad to where it communicates to the consumer directly for that. And then there's the other aspect of the negative terms that you're adding. So if you have the terms, and I can show you how to do that. And if you go to keywords and then search terms, I don't know if you're doing negative keyword stuff, but you definitely should. Whatever terms that would connect with a consumer mind, like the consumers like that are buying events and things like that,
Yeah,
you would want to come in here.
Negative keywords.
Yeah. So you would want to come in here, and if you see terms that they're searching in here, you want to get rid of those. Or if you know off the top of your head, okay, if anyone's searching for tickets or something like that, you can go ahead and come in here and you can like phrase match tickets. I'm not going to add this, and you could add this to this. I would recommend probably at the campaign level. But you would then get rid of those terms that would be more focused on those people looking for to go to actual events versus who you're actually looking for. So there's that. And then the other aspect of things is if you're sending them to a web page, you can communicate on another level to the consumer who are looking to book events and things like that. You communicate to them on the landing page itself. So you have a few ways you can eliminate, or you can refine the consumer that you're actually looking to bring in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. If you look at my keywords, just see I got 30 of them right now. But what I was just mentioning was from one of the booking people that I text. She searches the band's name specifically, and that's what I found too. Is like people that are looking for other bands, especially for like festivals and stuff where they hire multiple bands. They might be looking up one band. They might be looking up a Bon Jovi tribute at the time, but they see an ad for something else. I can't put Jason Aldean in the ad text because it's limited because of copyright purposes.
Yeah.
I can't put any of the things that I've done on Fox TV or Live Nation or anything like that because it's all copyrighted. So it's like I have to be so bland, you know what I'm saying, with my ad copy that it sucks.
Yeah.
And then, but like I said, they're looking up the band's name plus the city. So it's like putting in your competitors, you're putting in your competitors' names into your ads to get them to click on your ads. And then you have to put your competitor's name on your landing page in order for it to match. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So what's the confusion there? Like why you would not use an ad group for a competitor's name?
If I wanted to use Bon Jovi, because I'm not Bon Jovi. I don't have anything to do with Bon Jovi. I don't have anything to say about Bon Jovi tribute. It's just not what I do. I'm a Jason Aldean tribute. So it's just not relevant. But it happens that people look for rock tributes and they're like, oh, we're having a country day too, so I need to hire a country tribute. We'll go ahead and book them since we got them popped up here on the screen.
Yeah.
It's more like a fluke.
Yeah.
So basically that's not like why I wanted to do this meeting, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like I'm in an industry or in a position that's not typical and very hard to differentiate the buyers from the everyday people.
Got it.
And obviously I have some other questions regarding my account, but that's like my main, like I said, I think wording my ad is the only way that I could possibly get around trying to get people not to click on it unless they're a buyer.
Yeah, yeah. And then you could also think about potentially you'll get limited on your keywords or volume, but you could create a competitor ad group that's specific to competitors. Like even can you break it out into individual ad groups and then directly associate the ads with that. And you could even send it to a separate page if it made sense or whatever. But you could do something like that. That way you would still be limited, but it wouldn't necessarily affect any of the other terms. You could even there's a lot of customization you could do inside of the ad group. Does that makes sense as far as weeding out um or focusing more if you wanted to focus more on being able to search for competitors?
So I could create an ad group like from a competitor's name or like a genre of like rock tribute.
Yeah, you could do either one. But if let's say okay, so you typically if we have a competitor that if we want to most of the time we don't necessarily focus on competitors because it can just be like it can just cost more. But a lot of times if it makes sense to do that, you can have an ad group that is specific to focused keywords and ads, and you can even set different bidding specific to competitors inside of your campaign. And that's what we'll do. That those keywords and they'll perform completely different than our other keywords, of course. But it's the ads, the keywords, and everything like that are focused specific to the competitors.
But wouldn't that be like a false, if you set up an ad group and a campaign, a landing page for a Bon Jovi tribute, or for just, let's just say, because I'm seeing it like rock tributes, and then you add a bunch of a rock band's names just to cover a whole big bases. And then you put a landing page that says all that information on it, but you're like, you can't get those guys here, but if you want a country band, you can click us and see us. Is that what you're kind of how you're talking about, or?
Yeah, I would only be I don't know the specifics of exactly how your industry works on that level, but yeah, you would only want to be genuine, of course. So you could use the competitor's name, but you would be want to just gather the attention from them. But then yeah, just you'd have to think about what the best way to do that is. If someone is searching for a Bon Jovi tribute or Jason Aldean tribute or whatever, or whatever was closer to that, maybe a closer band name or whatever artist name, then you could still bet on that. And yeah, I don't know if that does that make sense. You wouldn't necessarily roll those into your main campaign. You would just you want to break those competitor into its own ad group for competitors, because then you can communicate from keyword, ad, and then even the landing page if you chose to.
I got you. Since we're on this page right here,
Yeah.
I got a note written down that says under search terms, since we're close, if you scroll down to the bottom, it says under search terms, not the keywords. Sorry.
Search terms.
I get confused on those two sometimes. Scroll down to the bottom, it says other. It says the total search terms not shown in this report that result in a click, but were not searched enough by significant a number of people.
All right, where you?
Right down to the bottom, second to the last. Yeah, down one. You're right there. Yeah. So you got 7.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So you got 7 clicks, but they don't tell you what words they searched.
Yeah, a few years back, they used to break out the search terms a lot more granularly, and they started to basically organize it to where it was not so granular. So now you do have searches that are happening, but they're so minimal that they're categorizing it or not even showing it in the full report.
I got you.
Yeah.
Just things you're getting clicks for. I like to know what it is.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that's how they did that. It's been, I don't know how many years, it's been a while back, but yeah, it was, but generally if they try to show them the more important search terms that are coming in. So if it is a term that isn't showing up, then yeah, they deem it not important.
How many times do I need to put a keyword into the landing page to make Google rank for it? Because I know we put it in the X, I know we put it in the Insta page setting area, but I do notice the calls to action and stuff like that. That's obviously doesn't seem to be relevant to the keywords. So
yeah, it's more about, so it's about relevancy, right? So your keyword needs to be relevant to the ad and needs to be relevant to the actual landing page. And then they use like a calculation on that. And I don't remember the calculation or the math of it right now, but it's more about is the landing page like hyper relevant to the keyword in the ad that's being presented to the consumer. And it's all about the user experience. So if you searched a specific keyword and then the ad came up and it showed something that you were, okay, yeah, I'm interested in that because I searched for that specific keyword. And then it took you to a page that was not really about any of that, then it's not going to be a great user experience for the consumer. So naturally, that will lower your
Quality story.
quality score. So as long as the page is relevant, the ad and the actual landing page is relevant to what they're searching for and what they're coming through, the keyword and the ad, then you should have a pretty good quality score.
Okay. All right. So the message match. So now, when that video was recorded in the thing, it's a little bit older. They switched since then. But the message match, obviously, Google has so many different headlines now that you could put a message up in the beginning of your landing page and it not match because Google put something up there that's not matching it.
You're talking about like, in the ads itself?
Yeah. So an example he used was if you say, we're getting you at PPC ads in 7 days, guaranteed, and then you get your ad and that doesn't show up because now Google has 14 different ads that they can choose from and that's not an ad match. So what's up with that?
That's something that you don't even necessarily have any other option right now. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it to where you give their algorithm like options to choose from. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to build from all those options the perfect ad that's relevant to what the consumer is searching for. So that's why you give all those different ones. If you put a headline in there that doesn't really get shown a whole lot, there's probably a reason for it. Like it's just the consumers aren't engaging with it as much as another headline.
All right, I understand that, but if your headline on your landing page is supposed to match your thing, like he taught us in the class, and it's not matching, he said if you got shitty ad match, you're not going to convert at all. We can't guarantee that because Google's changing it around so much. So the only way we can do that is to pin the headlines in specific orders and let them run the ads that way.
Yeah, that's the new way of doing it. Yeah. You can't do the extended text ads anymore at all as of, pretty recent. But ultimately, if you can still pin the headlines again, like they're still going to choose those headlines based on how the consumer is engaging with the ad, like the best way. So
that said, sorry, if you go to the overview and it shows the most shown ad, is that like because it's got the most clicks? Like, should you edit your landing page once you get some clicks under your belt and some, I don't want to say conversions, but once they say that, okay, this ad seems to be going better than another one, and then maybe tweak your landing page to match what they're showing the most?
You can, if it's a drastically different message than what's being communicated on the landing page itself, then it might be a great option. But if it's similar, like it should be fine. It shouldn't be anything that's going to throw the consumer off completely. You know what I'm saying? If it's relatively the same message of what's being presented on the ad on the actual landing page, it should be fine. You don't have to get like hyper laser targeted. You can, but probably isn't necessary. It probably won't give you that much percentage of an increase in conversion rate.
Okay. And real quick, over into the section of actually starting an agency, which I guess is more Ed's forte.
Yeah.
What is there anything on the consumer side that they have to set up in order for you to, so I know they have to set up their Google ads, and we send them a link to show them how to do that, set up an account real quick, do that one little Extreme Express account so we can link into their account from the manager account. But do they also need to set up the Google My Business and the Google Maps part? That's their, sorry, I'm looking at the screen over here where you are, the maps and the Google My Business on their own as well?
Yeah.
And then how do we link to that? Sorry, how do we link to that through the manager's account?
Yeah, they have to set their own Google My Business up, and then they can add you as a user from inside Google My Business. It's pretty straightforward.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm moving your picture over to the center here, so it doesn't look like I'm looking off the side
Oh,
of the
no,
screen the whole
here.
time. But another thing that seems to happen to me a lot: how do you get Google to stop calling you and try to change your ads to where they want them to be? They called me 6 times in one day the other day when I changed my ad after I started making all these, because I went from one ad group to one keyword and one ad to a bunch of different ad groups, keywords, and they started calling me like it was I was going into business or something. And I finally had to threaten them and say, listen, if you don't stop calling me, I'm gonna call the cops to file harassment charges.
There's not necessarily a method for that. You can just you can connect with a rep. You can connect with them and just say, listen, I'm not interested in you guys
Oh no, I
helping
tried
me.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
I said no. I yelled at them. I'm like, listen, I said no, you have to do this. And then they would say, well, you need to, you're going to do this. I'm like, no.
yeah,
And so I actually gave him a second at one point, and I said, okay, fine, I'll listen for a second. And then he started talking about something totally different
yeah.
and about the account. And I'm like, okay, this is not what you told me you need to talk to me about. I'm done. I'm hanging up. And I was like, it was stupid. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Uh,
honestly, we typically ignore them because as you can imagine, we get a ton of that.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we just typically ignore them because ultimately their job is to get you to spend more money.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand. And I've
Yeah,
learned that along the way that a lot of their default settings are not really great default settings.
no, definitely not.
I think this is the last thing that I have as far as questions are concerned, but I noticed that extensions in my manager account, anyways, I cannot get to my extensions from my manager's account. From my manager's account into my other account, the one you're in right now, I can't
Yeah,
access. It doesn't say ads and extensions on my
really.
manager side. Yeah.
I've never seen that before. Yeah, typically, if you're at it and you have full manager access, you should be able to see ads. You should be able to see everything because,
So something's not set up right. I haven't.
yeah,
There's some access problem.
there's some type of access problem there. And even if you may want to just disconnect or reconnect potentially, maybe something will screw you there. But yeah, you should have access to all that within your MCC account.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause yeah, I mean, that's how we run all of ours through our MCC. And then like we can actually build the campaigns and everything from inside there, which obviously includes ads, extensions, and bidding all the way down to the settings of the campaigns and ad groups.
Okay. Can we check just real quick on my conversions? I know we did the call conversions, but can we just make sure that they're set up correct?
The calls you said?
Not the calls, the other ones, the scroll. Yeah, you're in the right spot. Oh, no, those are extensions. Never mind. I want conversions.
Oh, what did you want to look at?
I want to look at conversion settings.
Conversions. Oh, conversion settings inside of the ad itself.
Sure.
Let's see where we're at. Let me back out real quick.
I want to make sure my conversions are set up correctly. Because like I said, I think one of them was going to every time somebody landed on a page, I got for every click that they came to the page, I got a conversion. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not what I want.
All right. So you are using the account goals. So you're using if you highlight over there, so that you can.
That's even the wrong. That's the wrong. That's my
Yeah.
real. That's my real website address.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can actually set up custom goals and then use the exact actions. You can roll those in there, and then from here you can use specific goals, and then you can select the specific custom goal that you've created. And that way, like if you have multiple pages, you can have a specific custom goal for that. Then basically is grouping all of your conversion actions inside of that. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay,
But
so you can. I'll show you. It'll make more sense. So if you go to conversions,
again, I get confused on these things and how they're set up at a campaign level or at an account level or at an ad group level.
I get it. So under here, like down at the bottom, custom goal, you
Yeah.
can add custom goal. And then from here, as you can see, it has it broken down into actions. So you can imagine, okay, so let's say you have two different pages that you're in. Let's say you have two different campaigns and you're running, they're completely different campaigns.
Okay.
But you need to track those separately. So you can create call extension lead and then parenthesis, whatever campaign that is, or ad group or whatever, or no, I'm sorry, focus that would be. And then you would select it. You would select that and it's going to add it here. Same here. And then you would save. And then you can name the group. Do you mind if I just do this real quick? I just want to.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah.
It's not gonna act. You don't have to use this.
So this is for this. Is this for the whole campaign? this whole campaign,
So
right?
yeah, the group would be for the whole campaign. So you create this group and it has just those specific actions that you want to use, because you don't want to get leads from any other actions.
So what about the ones that are up on top of there that are not custom goals? So they're still active?
Yeah, they're still active because they're using the custom, they're using the default for the whole account.
So how do you shut those off so you just get the ones that are your custom goals?
That's what this does. So you can focus the campaign just on these specific goals or specific actions.
How?
I'll go back into that. So let's say you have your call ads, you have your call extension, then you have your lead form. Those are let's just hypothetically say that these 3 actions are associated to one campaign. And I don't want to get conversions from any other campaign. Okay. So you would categorize these. You're creating this custom goal, right? And it's putting these actions over here inside of this custom goal. Okay. So we click save, and then you would go back to your campaign. And I won't actually link these. I'll just show you how to do this. Settings, and then under goals.
Yeah.
And you can choose your specific.
So you have to go
there.
backwards, because it actually asks you to set all this up when you first set up your campaign. So if you haven't set, that's weird.
Yeah, I usually just skip past that stuff because we set ours up completely different. Because we need to set this level of stuff up, especially when if you're running one campaign, it's no big deal. But if you're running multiple campaigns inside of one account, it can get sloppy. So now, if I would click save here, it would only receive conversions from these specific actions.
And all the default ones would not calculate.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Okay. So that Google hosted one, I didn't even know that came from this account. I think that came from this campaign. I think it came from another account.
Yeah. It would be from this account. It would just be you created one of the lead form ads one time, and it automatically created the conversion action for you so that you could separate those. So that's why it says Google hosted, because it's literally the conversions fire specifically off of Google.
Okay. And then, all right. So then once, so we're at maximum clicks right now. We'll give it, how long do you say? Is it a week or 2 weeks before we switch over into Manual CPC or CPA or whatever it's called, and start looking at the keywords and seeing which ones are converting and which ones aren't?
Yeah, with max clicks, the minimum like for it to getting enough volume is about a week.
Okay.
And then from then on, you can switch to, if max clicks ends up doing pretty well for you, let it run a little bit longer. And then if it starts getting a little out of hand, you can move it to a Manual CPC with the 427, the bid limit. And then further down the road, once you have it dialed in, you can then move to target CPA even, so that you're only buying those leads at a specific amount.
Okay, so I got my ads only running on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because obviously people search for bands more so in the weekends, and I don't want that to happen. Plus, I've already done the research and know that Thursday is one of my biggest days as far as booking. So let it run for 2 weeks then, because that'd be 6 days total. Sorry.
Yeah, minimum. It's really going to depend on your search volume. So if you start getting a bunch of search volume, then you can move a little bit faster as far as data, because it's really about like data collection. Once you have enough data collection, then you can move into different bidding strategies.
Okay. All right. That's
I definitely want to make a note of is keep watch on your search terms and make sure that you're removing irrelevant negative terms that don't make sense for your campaign. That'll save you a lot of money there. Yeah, that's a big one. And then any keywords that are overspending that aren't creating conversions, get rid of those for sure.
Those tend to be the single words. If I just have the word tribute, that word gets a lot of volume and doesn't do much, because it could be a tribute that has nothing to do with a band.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just the word entertainment. Those ones seem to be the most volume and not a lot of clicks.
Yeah.
So should I just get rid of those individual words and just keep them as phrases?
Yeah, I would probably get rid of those. Those are probably too broad. You want to go a little bit more narrow than that. Yeah, because that entertainment could be anything.
Yeah.
Entertainment in a park or so. Yeah, try to get a little bit more granular with that, at least like a 2-word that's more descriptive.
Yeah,
because that could waste a lot of your money there. But yeah, Good, good. Yeah, I think you're on the right track with that for sure. Yeah, go a little bit more go a little more granular on those. Not don't do any single word keywords
Okay.
unless it's like super descriptive, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I think that's it on my end.
Awesome. All right.
All righty.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
And
Thank you so much.
yeah, have a great day and good luck on your campaign, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right.